Meet Jacci, who moved from the U.S. after an accident abroad led her to Portugal.
I found out by accident. I was traveling Spain for a month and I got on a little accident and I broke my leg.
Learn what 100% of her Portuguese friends warned her against.
98% of the people said no.
Don't do it. Stay away.
Only a few people said, oh yeah, go for your dream. But 90, especially 100% of Portuguese friends, they all said no.
Jacci gives excellent tips and advice about setting expectations in your new country.
If you go to any country to live and you expect to live just like before, keep comparing what you had before, then you're never gonna be happy.
She talks about why she chose Porto.
I feel like the Porto is full of nice people.
She even opens up on retiring and unretiring.
I wanted to have an interaction with the local people also, and then this area.
And finally, her life motto.
My motto is, you don't find a happy life, you make happy life. And
Jacci, we're sitting in your beautiful cafe and you moved from the US to Portugal, maybe not thinking you'd open up a cafe, but you did. Yeah, and we're going to talk about that and those challenges. But let's start at the beginning and talk about why you chose to move to Portugal.
To me, I found out by accident. I was traveling Spain for a month and I got on a little accident and I broke my leg. Oh, no. And I was sitting in a hotel for 5 days and looking at the map. It's like, where do I go? And I chose Porto for some reason. So I came to Porto, and the experience I had with my broken leg, even with my broken leg, was amazing. The people were so kind to the lady on a wheelchair. And I just could not forget that wonderful experience with the wonderful people. I went back home and I kept coming back, I think within a year, I came back 4 or 5 times to Porto.
Just to visit?
Just to visit, because I wanted to see the friends that I met here. And then it was getting too expensive and I thought about, why don't I just move to Porto? And then later, I found out Portugal is very open to immigrants. They're open to foreigners. Well, even better. So
that makes it easy.
Yeah. So I hired a lawyer who helped me with all the process, all the paperwork, and then I'm here.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So some people might worry that Porto is hard, if you have a broken leg or a wheelchair, but you were able to get around even with your leg?
Uber.
Uber, yeah. Uber, yeah.
Uber. And also, Porto is not as hilly as Lisbon. It was not a problem, and there's always people help. When I got on the train, I went to Douro on my wheelchair. Yeah. And then people helped me with the wheelchair. They helped me carry things into the train, and I didn't have any problem.
So you had your wheelchair and you just popped your wine right here, you're easy to go, right?
Yeah, it was very nice. Yeah.
So would you say that the people is one thing that really had you wanted to come back to Porto?
Yes. I feel like home here. Porto is a very international city, and also I think the language barrier was less than other countries. A lot of people speak English here, and that helped me to communicate with other people. So
it was a little less stressful because you felt like you could communicate.
I thought I could just blend in and just talk to people, and not a problem.
Yeah. So then where did you move from before?
From California.
Okay. So I guess initially you were just traveling and hadn't really thought about, I'm going to move.
Not at all. Not at all. It's just Porto.
Took your heart? I mean, that's what I tell people. There's something for us about Porto. There's just something here that we love.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. It's the people that you're connected here. That's what the charm of Porto. I've been to Lisbon and other cities, but not like other cities. Porto has such special charm, especially with people. Their people are really, really friendly and kind here.
Now, did the weather scare you at all? Coming from what part of California did you come from?
At 40 minutes north of LA. We don't get rain a lot, and everything is dry, like a desert, and to me, I missed rain. Okay. Yeah, and the first year, it's starting to rain, I think, from November. January, February, I still loved it. Like,
Okay.
you know, all that windy rain, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
By March, I beginning to thought maybe it was too much rain, but still, I still love it.
Yeah, it doesn't
rain
bother
doesn't
you.
bother me at all.
Yeah, because last year it did seem to like drag on.
Oh yeah, last year it rained a lot.
Hopefully this year will be different.
I
The
hope
weather's
so.
been great
So far,
for
so
November.
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, hopefully it stays like this. But okay, so you were just going back and forth, and so you thought, I might as well just live in Porto. And you said that you hired someone, and you came in on the D7?
D7.
Okay, and so the lawyer that you hired helped with everything.
Right, right. When you're not particularly good at like doing all the paperwork, because I didn't want to make any mistake when applying for like immigrant papers. You know, I thought it's better to pay the experts to do it right.
Yeah, so well worth the money.
I believe so.
Okay, so you had help with the lawyer, and then you moved to Portugal, and you were retired or not actively working. So then what did you do?
For that past year, I just traveled all the European countries and Portugal, and I joined all these expats ladies, and then we go out for dinners and, you know, shows and things like that. It's really interesting. It's really fun to meet people from everywhere. It's really fun. But then after 1 year, it's starting to get a little bored.
Okay.
And I still love meeting new people, but I wanted to be productive. I wanted to do something for the society, one way or another. And I started to think about what I wanted to do all my life. One of my dreams was to open a cafe with all the bakery items, like baking things. I got my training in coffee and baking, but I didn't know how things would work here in Portugal. Like it's such a foreign country to me, actually. All the people that I asked for advice, and 98% of the people said no.
Don't do it. Stay away.
Only a few people said, "Oh yeah, go for your dream," but 90, especially 100% of Portuguese friends, they all said no.
Why?
Because they always talk about the bureaucracy. If everything goes well, then you have no problem. But if one thing goes wrong, it will be a headache. It will be like 6 months to 1 year to solve a problem. And then hiring employee is a tricky question also, tricky matter. It's quite different than America. So most people said no.
Yeah.
But then that didn't bother me. I still wanted
you said
to.
98%, I'm still going for it.
Yes, I wanted to find out on my own, and I decided, okay, it's not good, you know. But I didn't want to just listen to people and discouraged by it. I wanted to try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though with that advice, you're like, let's just try it, and what happens, happens. Well, then I have to ask, have you had problems with the bureaucracy, or has it been fairly smooth?
It has been smooth, luckily.
Okay.
Unfortunately, very lucky. And what people say about the construction, that was really true. So people say to have patience, but you need extra patience with the construction. I mean, it's still not finished, but it's not just Portugal, though. It's everywhere with the constructions, you know, renovation and all that. You know. And also, if you go to any country to live and you expect to live just like before, you know, keep comparing what you had before, then you're never gonna be happy. You just have to have a good attitude, you know, adjust to new life, adjust to what they have. Like I don't try to change anything. I try to adapt to their life, and then when you have that attitude, it's not many things really bother me so far.
Yeah. That's such good advice. I think that if you're so busy thinking about how it was in your home country, or maybe even when people come on a scouting trip or for tourism and they think it's like one way and then it's not, because you know, as you know, visiting is different than living.
Oh yes, of course.
So of course you have certain things where you're like, oh, I think it's going to be like this, but if you can kind of not have that in your mind, then it just makes things easier, right?
That's true. And even baking, you know, I opened a cafe. All the matrix system is different in the US. And I had to change all my recipe. The flour is different than America, the butter and cream and everything. But if you start complaining about how things are different, you cannot get the ingredients, you cannot make it right, then you'll never make the good baked goods, and you just have to adjust and you change the recipe. You just use what they have here, and then you create another beautiful recipe. That's what it is. Yeah.
So a lot of it was like trial and error. You would have to make something.
Oh, yeah. I still make mistakes a lot, and then there's so many different kind of creams that I've never heard before. So I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm
and
still
kind
learning.
of experimenting with different
It's fun.
things.
Yeah, it's still fun. Yeah.
So do you have like a big binder that you write everything in?
Everything.
To keep it straight.
Yeah, I have an Excel spreadsheet
of
all the things that I need to learn, and I have to look. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so earlier you were talking about bureaucracy, of course, and then patience. And I think anytime I chat with someone who moves here, the running theme is always watch out for the bureaucracy.
Right.
It can get you in anything with the opening a cafe or just your normal visa stuff. And then patience, just everyday life, right?
Yeah.
So good advice to have. Be aware of both of those.
It's true. I met so many people who wants to help me, be kind to me. All of them helped me achieve this dream, and they helped me open this cafe. I met nice people like my accountant and lawyer and my mentors for the business. All my friends, they're all through people, and somehow I feel like the Porto is full of nice people.
Is your community a mix of Portuguese and expats?
Expat, yeah. Americans, Kazakhstan, like Russian, like everywhere. But they all seem to be very, very nice.
All right, so with the cafe, it's been trial and error, but what is your favorite thing to make or favorite thing that you sell here?
My cakes, I sell like lemon cakes and scones, and a lot of Portuguese come and say they never tried scones before.
Okay.
So it's just make them happy if they like it, and it's their first time trying scone and they like it, then it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Do
some of them not like it?
Well,
they don't tell you.
In the beginning, I think my scones were a lot more drier because I didn't know how to use this new oven.
Yeah.
And then I have people from Britain, from England, and they said, "Oh, it's not proper scone."
Oh, it's not proper.
No, but my scones are like Asian style.
Right? Of course. That would make more sense. Did you tell them that?
I did.
Okay. So you, some of your Korean roots also influences the food and pastries that you have here.
Right. I learned baking in Korea, so we use a lot of Asian ingredients like green tea, or like sesame seeds, or like different rice flours. That I want that to reflect on my bakery. That makes me different than other bakery.
Yeah.
And that's also who I am too. Like I am from South Korea, but I spent most of my life in America. Now I'm here. That's who I am, and that's what's reflecting on my menu here in this cafe.
Yeah, that's amazing. Taking like your two countries mainly, bringing them to a new country and letting locals and expats experience it. I mean, even those who maybe have never been to Korea or know a little bit about Korean food, but not much, so you can at least introduce that to...
Right.
Yeah.
Also, name of our cafe, Kiwa, also literally means tiled roof, on like a traditional tiled roof. And I realized after living in Korea, in US, and in Portugal, like there's so many people from all different cultures, different countries, but we're all same people under one roof. That's how I named the cafe.
Yeah, that's
Kiwa.
amazing.
Yeah,
good. Why did you choose this area for the cafe?
It also happened to be my friend's previous business. Yeah, I mean, she wasn't a friend in the beginning, but when I wanted to open a cafe and the business, because I don't know anything about opening a business here, I posted something on Facebook, and a lot of people responded to me, and they gave me all this like business advice, and one of them who responded to me. I became friend with her, and she was running this cafe, and she closed it. It wasn't my intention to take over this place, but finding a place in downtown was way too expensive. And then I also wanted to find a place, like it's not close to the center, but a little away for first reason, like so I can afford the place. And also I didn't want to have a business with the tourists. I didn't want to depend on tourists for my business. I wanted to have an interaction with the local people also. And then this area seemed to be perfect actually, because it's on the way to the center from Bonfim. So you get a little bit of tourists, and you have a lot of local people, and also a lot of expats also live in this area. And like, that's perfect. You know.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So it's kind of near the Bonfim area,
near the Bonfim,
Bonfim and downtown. And so, and do you live in this area also?
I live like 10 minutes away, walking distance from
so it's
here.
not terrible since you're here.
It's not bad. But that neighborhood, like same Bonfim, but it's very different than here. Here, there are a lot of energy. There are younger people. Where I live, it's more residential area. Although it's on, my apartment is on a big street, the vibe is very different there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of old people. It's a working class area, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the vibe is very different.
Okay.
And then since it's on a big street and all these streets are filled with businesses, so it becomes kind of like that street after around 9 o'clock when everything is closed. 8 or 9. You know? Like no one really walks around on that big street.
Does it feel unsafe? Like no one walks around, or is it just weird that it's like dead?
I don't feel that threatened by anything, but I'm kind of person who don't walk around after 9 or 10.
Okay.
So
it's not like you're out super late.
No.
But it's just kind of a very boring type area.
Yeah,
okay. All right.
Yeah.
So here is a little nicer. So you're moving closer to here at some point.
Yeah. I like to see younger people.
yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, there's so much energy, good energy.
And then I wanted to ask you, at the cafe, we talked a little bit about the food, but then you also have a variety of teas and coffee, right?
Yes.
For drinks. Yeah. And you do specialty coffee, right? So
we use specialty coffee. When I choose ingredients, when you're a mom, you know, you don't want to give your kids like bad things, but it's the same thing applies to me when I eat what I serve. When I offer customers like good ingredients, good coffee, I taste all the coffees in Porto. I really carefully chose my coffee. I love. Can I mention the name? Like Van and Vani. Like Morgan is such a good roaster. He makes really good coffee. So I chose his coffee, specialty coffee, and I also wanted to use local roaster for teas. As an Asian, we drink tea all the time, but the matcha is one of my favorite. And I went to Japan to learn tea ceremony and learn about teas, and I just fell in love even more. And I brought all those like nice teas, and then I found a distributor that ships ceremonial, like premium grade matcha directly from Japan, and they're organic too.
Oh, great!
So like, oh yeah, it tastes different than
around here, I guess. Yeah, or even maybe in Europe, because So that makes sense. Well, that's good that you were able to find that, because I think that's a struggle for a lot of people, just being able to find certain foods or drinks when they come here.
Yeah, it took a long time for research. Yeah, but I was really happy to find this distributor that I am very happy with, and customers are very happy.
You can taste the difference. Yeah,
oh yeah, very.
You have
much.
this one matcha drink. I forget what it is. Like what?
With the coconut?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah. I mean, also, I want the drink to be healthy. Like, you know, I'm a very health conscious person, but we all need something sweet at the end of the day. And I wanted to have something healthy, but it tastes good too. So I use coconut water and the ceremonial grade matcha to make this like a cream top coconut drink that has been very popular at our cafe.
Yeah. I'm not much of a matcha drinker. I like coffee more, but even matcha I don't drink much. But it is, you can definitely taste the difference, and that is a really good drink. Yeah.
We plan to have some workshops later to learn about more teas and matcha. So,
that's a great idea.
There's something in the plan.
Okay, well, at Expats Everywhere, we believe that living abroad transforms lives. So how has living in Portugal transformed your life?
Happy, very happy. My motto is, you don't find a happy life, you make happy life. And I came here and with good attitude, with open-minded. You'll be happy anywhere, but especially in Porto, people are nice and kind, and you'll be even happier. Yeah.
Well, if you want to know more about Porto, because that's the city that we live in and the city that we love, then check this out right here. And if you want to see a podcast we do with Morgan, her roaster, then you can check that out right here. Now, let's get moving.